everyone, to Films with the Women in My Life. My name is Brennan, and joining me tonight is Jess.
Everyone.
You're always first. Like you were not
Except
first
for
for like
when you try to switch it up and it just feels weird.
It was just
like Nicole. Do people call you like Lori and Nicole or Nicole and Lori?
It's always Nicole and Lori.
Yeah. So when someone says Lori and Nicole, you're like, what?
It's true.
Well, Nicole's also here. She's usually in the middle, or the second person called, so Nicole's here.
Yes.
And then Mama K is the third person called, the person at the end.
Always last, so...
I think we did this before. It was because,
doesn't ever change.
it's like the and credit, like, because you're like it's the with and credit. You know how that's usually like the older person, so that's why it's like that here. So
right.
Burn.
When you're watching an older show now, you're like, oh, that person's dead. Yeah, that's me.
Well, if anyone's listening to this in like 30 years, I guess, then I suppose, but
30.
Oh, the featuring lady's
30,
gone.
I mean, 100 years, we'll be dead. We'll all be dead.
I was gonna say, I think you can live 30 more years. Okay.
That's just true. Technology's pretty good now.
Mm.
We are doing a catch-up show. We are catching up on the things we have seen in May and June that we have not yet talked about on a full episode. Nicole, how you been? I haven't talked to you in a while. Well, you haven't talked to the listeners.
Well,
how have you been?
Frequently.
Interesting.
I haven't talked to you in a while on this microphone, I suppose.
Is it better or worse than being next to me?
It's just a different medium.
I'm doing fine. I've had a lot of things happening in my personal life recently, but nothing that I can't conquer as a strong woman.
I wish I could give you a round of applause.
Independent woman.
Thank you. But yeah, it's exciting to be here. I think you're going to be highly disappointed in what I can offer to this podcast today, but that's okay. We'll get through it.
Well,
let's see who can be the most disappointing.
We don't have to start with. You don't have to lead us off. Why don't we start with someone who's seen something really recently? Jess, you've seen things recently. Why don't you kick us off? What's something you've caught up on?
So I got my Regals app open. I'll tell you all the movies I've seen.
Hold on! Don't just list everything off. We're gonna.
Well, I'm gonna start with the list, and then you tell me what to talk about. So, what date are we starting from?
I know you just have to read the whole list first, so that's fine.
Right,
let's read the whole list.
Are we doing May and June?
May and June. Yes, that's May and June is what we're catching.
Okay,
anything?
So
we haven't already. Yeah.
Civil War, Fall Guy, Challengers, The Strangers, The Watchers, Inside Out 2, The Exorcism, yeah, A Quiet Place, and Bad Boys Ride or Die.
All right. Okay, so you've got some things to talk about then. Why don't we... You've seen more... I think you've seen more than me in those couple of months. Can you believe this?
Wow.
I think you've seen more... How the turntables... Why don't you talk about the horror movies first? And we already did our Quiet Place episode, so people know that our feelings on that if you want to go back and listen to our full thoughts. But Jess and I positive on the Quiet Place movie. And yes, Jess, take it away.
All right.
I will talk about The Strangers. So... I think I remember seeing this in, why is it called The Strangers Chapter 1, actually?
So The Strangers, this is very interesting. The Strangers is a movie from a couple years ago, probably maybe 10 years ago now, and it was one of those like home invasion kind of ones. It's the one where they have...
it's like a bunny mask.
Yeah. And the one's got like a burlap sack kind of mask, I think, and they break in. It's one of those movies.
That.
Yeah, so I remember I watched this with my high school boyfriend. So this was probably like 2000.
The new one?
No.
Wait,
the original.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I watched with my high school.
Wait, you're dating somebody in high school?
Yeah, my high school boyfriend. This was probably like 2009 or 2010 or something. That's probably when it came out. Because I remember watching it with him, and I remember I really liked it. And I remember the premise. It was just like these people in masks and they come in and they break into the house. So then when I saw this, there was another one coming out. I was like, oh my god, I remember that one. It's going to be good. Let's watch it. I saw that I think Rotten Tomatoes and audience completely tore this apart. I forgot what the score was. But
I'm seeing 22% right here with the critics. And,
so I was like, shit, is it not going to be as good as the first one? So we watched it, and I was like, dog, this is so good. Why does like it? I loved
So you're telling me Strangers Chapter 1, legit, positive review from Jess.
Yeah, I thought it was so good.
This is right up Jess's alley. She's the best for this.
44% with the audience, and yeah, let me. I'm just going to try to find the non-Jess positive consensus, but this is interesting. Lacking the chilling suspense of the original The Strangers and proving
I don't know
to
what
be
these people were talking about. I was even reading the reviews out loud after we left the theater, and I'm like,
yeah,
none of this is valid. Are we watching the same movie? I thought it was great.
Untrue.
Yeah, fake news.
I'm seeing this is directed by Rennie Harlan. Deep Blue, and he's like a schlock director from like the 90s and 2000s. That's weird. Very weird choice. Okay, well, just you like horror movies more than the rest of us. Malakay doesn't like them at all, and Nicole and I are in the middle on them, I guess, sometimes. Would we get anything out of this, or is this not our kind of horror movie?
It's definitely jump scary, so probably not your horror movie. But I could see you, like...
Is there substance about anything? Style?
I think you would like it just to have fun with it. I could see you, like, having a drink and just laughing. So I think you would find it enjoying in the right atmosphere. Not like sit down, be serious, more like a let's make fun of this and let's make drinking games kind of movie.
Okay, I think you've picked up on my so bad it's good with horror movie kind of taste and being picky on things, but maybe I would enjoy that. See if that ever comes out on streaming. As of right now, it's just sitting out there. Any other horror movies before we bounce off horror?
Yeah, The Watchers.
Anyone else is seeing horror. The Watchers. So that's M. Night Shyamalan's daughter's new film. Yes, a Fanning is in that, correct?
Yeah, Dakota Fanning, right?
Yeah. How was The Watchers?
I thought this was just okay/good, maybe like a solid 3-star movie. It was definitely it had a big twist, and I think Kyle said like this director or something is known for having like a really big twist at the end, or like
I know you host a movie podcast, and the M. Night Shyamalan, whatever. Yes,
director.
Yes, yeah. M. Night the Shyamalans are known for their twists. He is correct.
Okay.
Your boyfriend's very astute.
Yeah.
So it did make sense. Like there was at the end, it was kind of like how is this going to end, and I don't want to give it all away. But
no, I might catch up on this one. This is one I was interested in just because of the Shyamalan connection.
Okay, yeah. So I would say it's a solid 3.
It's underground. He's from some city nearby. I can't remember the name of it. I don't know.
There were some things that didn't make sense, and sometimes you're like, all right, the movie should have just stopped right here. But I think you'll like it because it's about, like, monster creatures that have rules, and they kind of transform into people, and you're like, is that a person, or is that a monster?
I would say, of my style, which, or Nicole, if Nicole and I had to sit down and watch one, and they both come out on streaming, Strangers Chapter 1 or The Watchers, what's going to be more something we're going to give it?
I don't know, if you like rules and stuff, maybe The Watchers. There's
you like rules?
Well, The Strangers is literally no substance, it's just people trying to break into a house, and that's kind of it. There's not really much to it than that. The Watchers has much more of a plot, and then a lot of more sequence of events and things going on. So I think you'd like that better. Well,
Watchers and Strangers, 2 movies with terrible reviews, but just a little more charitable, it sounds like, at least for Strangers.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I liked both of them.
Well, okay, why don't you take us away from horror?
Oh, wait, I still have one more scary movie.
Oh, you did? I thought you only had 2.
Yeah, let's hold on to that
My
for
bad,
a minute.
I thought there was only 2. All right, one more. What do we got?
The Exorcism.
Oh, The Exorcism. Is that the Russell Crowe one?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. So, how was that?
The Exorcism, I probably would not recommend. It was dark. It was, like, literally dark. It felt like the lights were out the entire time. It was very slow moving. So basically, Russell Crowe was a drunk, went to rehab, came back, trying to get his life back together, trying to build a relationship with his daughter. He gets his job, which is being a priest, in this Exorcism movie. The other actor died or committed suicide, so he's kind of taken over. What? They didn't really want to trust him because they thought that he was washed up and he wasn't really good or talented anymore.
Oh my god, I was kidding. I didn't realize, I'm reading the synopsis, that a troubled actor begins to unravel while shooting a horror film, and then this drunk Russell Crowe... Wait, I was kidding.
What I just said?
It's him.
That's what I just said.
It is what you just said, but I didn't realize, I thought... Never mind. I'm sorry. I was misunderstood. Continue. I was totally...
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I misunderstood the context. Continue.
Anyway, they didn't really want to trust him, but one person gave him a chance, and then he starts acting, and he's like terrible. He's like, he's not really connecting, he's forgetting his lines, he's acting all weird, and everyone's like, alright, this was a mistake, we shouldn't have shot him. And then you kind of go into what his personal mind is going through, and like you realize, oh, he's actually being taken over by the devil. So, people think that he's drunk and he's like fucking up again, and then his daughter kind of realizes, no, something's going on. And then the priest shows up, and the priest is like, yeah, we gotta do the thing. So they start doing the thing, and the priest quickly like loses, the devil wins. And then I think like the daughter and like her girlfriend like actually like beat the thing, and that's it.
The Exorcism. This so this of the three, I'm gonna guess is the weakest. I'm saying 29% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't think I would recommend it. It was again very slow moving. The Exorcism part was probably the best part, but otherwise it was kind of dull.
I think all the scores.
Do we know who made this?
It's a gentleman, Joshua John Miller. Don't know his.
What is Russell Crowe doing?
That
he's doing this.
He's doing that.
Oh my god!
When was the last time you guys saw Russell Crowe? I saw him in that movie Unhinged, where he has road rage.
Unhinged.
Anyone see that?
Yeah. I don't know.
Did we do that? Maybe not. You didn't see that with me, Nicole?
Been a minute.
Russell Crowe is like he gets mad at a lady, like cuts him off in traffic, and the whole movie is him like road raging at her. God. It's pretty bad, but I am laughing at my head.
Sounds like every day going to work and back.
It was pretty tense.
To relive that when I get home.
I do remember, the opening title sequence. It was pretty tense, but okay. Russell Crowe, he's hanging in there. I was just thinking the scores of all three of these movies don't even add up to 100. So horror movies. This is why we don't. This is why I don't go and see those. I don't feel like I'm missing out. I feel like I could see one of these maybe on streaming later, and I'll be fine. So, all right, now we've covered the horror section for the show. Mama K, sweep us to a different corner of the screen.
You're assuming that I don't have any horror on my list.
Well, you're not assuming. We know.
I was saying, whatever you consider horror, it's gonna be some sort of. It'll be horrifying to us, I'm sure, but I'm not a.
I do have something that almost approaches horror for me, but I'm not going to talk about it now because it is a television situation. I have been doing a lot of catch up on TV, and it's been not a lot. Anything that I've seen in the theaters, I think we've already done like reviews on. So I've got a couple of movies, 3 movies that I've watched. One is documentary. One is an older movie from older in Jess terms, like 2022, I think.
Older 2 years ago.
Usually older for me is like it's a Cary Grant film, right?
Grant.
This is from 2022. And then I have a movie that was on Netflix that just was released not too long ago. So that one is The Hitman.
Oh, The Hitman.
With Glenn Powell and a woman called Adria Arjona. I have no idea. Never seen her before. Actually, I did see her in something. She was a small part. Anybody else see Hitman?
Hitman on Netflix. And Nicole and I are still Netflix-less at the present. So just like Jess is going to the movies and seeing the horror movies that I don't want to see in the theaters, Nicole's going to the theaters.
Right.
You got Netflix. You're our Netflix correspondent.
I thought your mom was paying for that.
What was it? Oh no, we never worked out that. I mean, I'm sure we could offline, but we haven't gotten around to it. We've had other things to watch, I suppose.
Right. One of the other movies, and I'm not sure what the third one is, but the other movie is called Toscana, and it's also on Netflix. So these are all Netflix joints. But The Hitman with Glenn Powell, yeah, like a Spike Lee joint. Yeah. So The Hitman is about a guy who gets recruited. He's sort of a nerd. You have to imagine Glenn Powell is a nerd. They have a hard time. It's like watching what is that movie like from the olden times where she, it's a girl and she's wearing glasses at school and a ponytail, and all of a sudden she's beautiful because they take her glasses off.
Can I pretend he's like Ethan Hunt, the Tom Cruise character in Mission Impossible? Because he's kind of like a nerdy action hero. He's like an action hero, but he's got glasses.
Yeah,
and
but
tech.
Yeah, but they dress. He's way more nerd. Like they have him in nerdier clothes.
Oh, they're trying to make him like this is a nerd.
They're trying to
Glenn
make him
Powell.
look. Yeah, he's.
Oh wow.
Yes, Glenn Powell as a nerd, and he is. His job is that he is a professor at a local community college, and he gets somehow involved with doing some side work for like a CIA type situation, and he pretends to be a hitman. So he goes and they set him up with marks, people who want to have someone killed, and he's there. He's the hitman they call in to quote kill somebody. And when whoever it is like, okay, well, here's the $20,000, then of course they arrest the person that's trying to put a hit out on somebody. So this is what he does, and he does it because the regular hitman who does it goes off the rails, and they can't trust him to do it anymore. So
like a fill-in.
He slowly, what's that?
It's like a fill-in.
Yeah. So he slowly starts to evolve. You know, his hair gets a little bit better. He starts dressing a little better. He's talks to people a little easier in a normal way, not in a
he's becoming sexy Glenn Powell that we want from
he's
that Sydney Sweeney movie that Jess didn't see, that she saw the poster of.
That one, or from the Top Gun on the beach kind of Glenn Powell. So he morphs into that. This movie, though, interestingly, has a couple of twists and turns, and I found it to be more unpredictable than I thought it was going to be. So I don't want to give anything away, but it's a fun watch, and it's fun to watch somebody try to look really unattractive who's not. So no, the other way around, not attractive who really is.
I'm seeing 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. Who is it? It's a Richard Linklater film. I didn't know that. Did you say that?
Yeah, it is a Richard Linklater film. I forgot to say that.
That's something you lead with. That's a big.
Sorry.
No. I would have,
because we all love that, or I love that.
I like having a director who's been around for a long time and made lots of good movies. Yeah, it's important, even if it's a Netflix.
It doesn't really feel. It doesn't really Netflix joint always now. It doesn't really feel like a Richard Linklater movie. I didn't realize it
doesn't look
after,
like it based on the poster. It doesn't look like his style at all. But
no, but it's fun. It's a good watch. Like I said, it's got a couple of twists. The thing about it is like his teeth are so perfect in Hollywood. It gives it away, because I've never seen any faculty member ever, and particularly not a community college faculty member, have like Hollywood teeth. So
again, these are all Hollywood people, so everyone's just hot. You know, everyone's like, "Oh, really? You're just the hottest X profession?" Yes, they are. They are all the hottest X profession. You know, that's just the way it is.
And of course, the person that's trying to put a hit on her husband she's the co-star, the co-lead, and she also is like, you know, fantastically beautiful. Hers makes sense for her character, so that's fine. His is a little more interesting. So
is that a new thing? Everyone being aggressively attractive in movies, is that? I thought that was that not how it always was. Were people more normal looking back in the day?
I don't know. I feel like that, but I think people have just gotten more. They all start to look the same because everybody's just having the same teeth, the same Botox. They all go to the same doctors.
Yeah, I was just say they're all paying the same guy.
Let's say when it's conventional attractive, it is a convention, so everyone is going towards a general mean.
Something.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone
can disagree on like the margins on what that is, but there is, you know, people seem to, you know, everyone seems to have one type, apparently. I don't know. Weird world we live in.
If you're going to be the attractive one, yes, you're going to look the right the
conventional look. Well, Hitman's a positive experience overall then?
Yeah, Hitman's great. Everybody needs to, you know, jump on board, jump on the Netflix.
I would say just Nicole compelled to Hitman it. Jess, you have Netflix, right? Any interest in this?
She said it was old, right?
What was that?
No. This is actually new. This is the new one.
This is the one that came out this year, right?
This is straight up. And by old, it's my oldest one is 2022.
I worry that you don't hear anything, Jess. Like Glenn Powell, like we were just talking about. I'm worried
she
that
heard
you don't
it, just not in the man right.
That we've been doing this show for 5 or 6 years, and that you don't remember. I know you don't remember movies, but like I don't know if you remember.
I don't know who Glenn Powell is, so.
We talk about him all the time on this.
I told you, I thought you were talking about Glenn Howerton the one time.
Oh my god,
that's right.
Yeah,
you can speak up at some point if you're confused. You don't have to just.
You said really hot and Sydney Sweeney. I'm like, oh, he was in that Christmas movie. Well, the movie.
Yes, there you go.
Christmas.
But at least we've caught up to the same. And now you have to imagine. Okay, if it's that man, he's only 30 something, so he can't be in a movie that's that old. Like at the oldest, we're talking 2014 or at the oldest. So anyway,
it's a 2024 movie, Jess. So you're good to go.
You can see their
Was it in
pores.
theaters at all? Or it went straight to Netflix?
I don't think so.
Straight to streaming, it looks like.
Netflix. Yeah.
Anything else on the net? What was it? The other one on the Netflix heap you said?
The other one is called Toscana. This is the old one from 2022. And it was made in Denmark, so you have to get past the whole lip situation where people are talking kind of funny because it doesn't match. But it's about a Danish chef that goes back to Italy because his father has died and left him this really lovely palazzo, and of course he doesn't want it, but he falls in love with the person who's working there, and
wait a minute,
that's the movie.
I saw this.
Toscana?
Yes, I did. I'm looking at my letterbox right now. You were describing it. I'm like, yeah, he's an asshole and he's grumpy and he goes back and yeah. Oh man, I did
he's
not
only part
care for
asshole.
this movie.
He's not like full on.
I'm looking back. My review that I wrote June 22nd, 2022. Let's see.
22. There you go.
Oh, you know what? It's not so. My first thing I wrote. My first thing I wrote is actually slightly incorrect because I did remember it. I wrote extremely disposable, unlikable, bland little movie that will only hold value to those who like to watch movies for pretty images of the European countryside, which I guess makes a good enough movie for some people. 1 star.
Okay. Mind.
I don't even know how personally attacked I should feel by that. But yes.
I wrote that 2 years ago. I just verbatim reading what I wrote.
This is me. This is how I came to Toscana. I'm going to tell you about the story. That is so funny. Is that I've been back on Duolingo trying to update my Italian skills.
Oh, that's good.
And I was like, so I'm like, I want to watch something that has Italy in it. Am I going to watch the Diane Lane movie that I've seen a million times, or am I going to watch the first part of Eat, Pray, Love?
House of Gucci.
I should have watched House of Gucci. Yes, totally should have. But no, instead I picked Toscana. Oh. Apparently a movie that is disdainful in some circles.
Just to me, but again, I didn't know anyone saw that movie. I'm looking at the reviews. I'm like, it's a small movie. Like it's one I would never like call and pick on because like I would never think to, but just because it came up organically, that's funny. Oh, that is
anyway.
Funny.
That's my other Netflix movie. I'll save my doc just in case somebody else had to watch the documentary.
Awesome. Well, let's move to something less conventional, perhaps. Nicole, what do you got?
Are you sure?
More
I can
YouTube.
go. I'll anchor. I'll go after you.
Okay, well, I'm going to completely throw off everyone's groove here because I don't think I've watched a single movie in the past 2 months.
More slots on
hit
YouTube.
The television.
Yep, I think the only thing I have watched recently has been on YouTube. Just picking up little bits and bobs from different creators on there. I always like that chapter. He is a true crime podcaster, content creator. I watch him while I paint because it is relaxing.
True crime is relaxing. I love it. I love that that's part of the whole thing.
It keeps me on my toes. I have to make sure I close my blinds when I'm doing it because I get a little scared.
It's true. I hear her painting upstairs. She got her little, and I hear the podcast go, and I'm like, this is nice. This is like her little. This is her like little like sitting in the chair reading a book. That's her version.
Yeah,
of that.
That's good. You have a little hobby like that. I need more hobbies.
It's good. I
it's
love
nice
it.
and relaxing. We binged a lot of I believe they're called Sorted. It's a British group of chef and normal people combines, like 6 of them, and they hold on, I gotta get my cat. She's stepping on my keyboard.
Wait, is this on YouTube?
They're like a YouTube like food variety show and food and gadgets and like
sorted
pop
food.
culture. Yeah,
they're cool. picked up Microwave Society. It's just 3 dudes talking to each other
out to
about...
your father.
Yep, he was watching it one day. Temu items and reviewing goofy movies and all types of stuff. So that's what I watch on YouTube. I don't remember if I said this the last time we did this, but I tried to jump into season 1 of Law and Order. I think I said that.
Yes.
Yeah, I gave up on that because it was just too bad in the first
The SVU
season.
or regular or
yeah,
OG?
SVU.
Okay.
It was too outdated and
Yeah,
all
old
Yeah,
TV's
very
written.
much.
tough.
Yeah, so I gave up on that. But what I have been watching, and this is probably the only thing I can contribute to this podcast, and Brennan has been watching with me. Bless you.
Thank you. I was away from the mic. They didn't hear. Don't worry.
I'm just blessing you because then.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate you.
I started on Peacock season 1 of the WWE Extreme Rules yearly match countdown thing.
Every year there's a pay-per-view event called Extreme
no idea
Rules.
what
Just
that
like
is.
every year there's a WrestleMania.
Pay-per-view, yeah. But it's free now.
And it's free on Peacock. And so Nicole and I have been watching every Extreme Rules event since 2009.
I think it was 2009. It's 13. We're on the 13th one tonight, actually. And it's fun to watch the storylines change from who was friendly one year to who's beating each other up the next year. I find that quite entertaining. And yeah, that's really all I've been watching. And it's as depressing as that sounds, that's how it feels.
Are these matches that you're watching?
Yeah,
they're like WrestleMania.
Okay, I can tell her.
Yeah.
It's like a 3-hour special where they have 5 matches that were set up, and they're all Extreme Rules, obviously. So there's in a cage, or they use the thumbtacks, or they have to.
Oh, what the hell does that mean?
One of them was they had to gouge someone's eyeball out.
Oh, the COVID year one.
Hell?
Yeah, that was the dumb. They were getting really desperate with their gimmicks. So yeah, what was it? Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins
One of them had to gouge the other one's eye out to win the contest.
So at the end, they have to pretend the one guy is like, and that's it. He can no longer see from this eye. And then they have to do a backstage interview 20 minutes later when they're like, I just received word that there's a small chance that with the correct surgery, they may be able to save Rey Mysterio's vision. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, I was going to say for sure Seth Rollins won that match.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't mean to spoil the
but really,
3 years ago Extreme Rules.
Watching this, these are 3 hours long or so, and it progressed through, obviously, 2009 into the mid-teens. John Cena was a big thing, and it's interesting to watch it progress. It's kind of like watching seasons of a show.
It kind of is. And I've never, because I would watch wrestling back in the day, and then since then you watch the big events, like you and I watch Royal Rumble, or we see clips on social media, but we don't watch every week, although we kind of have started doing that again. And I've never watched, to your point, the same event once every year, and you get a really interesting time lapse almost of you get to see where people were just a year before and the next year where they are. And sometimes it's drastic. Sometimes a person was a headliner going for the world title one year, and then the next year they're literally in the lamest stupid match, that last 7 minutes, and it's embarrassing. It's just, it's interesting. And you see the progression of people in the audience and how people talk about things, everything. It's very interesting. I agree with you, Nicole. It's an interesting way to spend our time.
Yeah, so that's what I do.
You did say you didn't see any movies, and I'll transition over to me. Speaking of transitioning, you did see one movie with me in the theaters, and that was I Saw the TV Glow. I Saw the TV Glow. That. We didn't do an episode on it. We did not.
Oh, I thought we did.
No, I was originally going to, but you didn't seem to care for it too much, and I was like, you know what? I have a lot of thoughts, but I wouldn't want to spoil it because it's a hard movie to spoil. And I'd rather just talk about it now, and also because I wanted to sell it to Jess and Mama Kay. It's not a movie they would ever see, ever. So I would like them to give it a try if it comes across streaming.
I don't even remember seeing that on the app.
Yeah, it's It's a small little A24 guy. I saw the TV Glow. It's director Jane Schoberg, who did a movie called We're All Going to the World's Fair, which I started, and I had to turn it off because I did not care for it at all. I thought it was like I thought it was really bad. Just to be frank, I was like, I did not care for it at all. I was like, I can't get into this. Maybe I'll go back and give it a chance now, because this one really, really, really speaks to me. It's very, very good. It's hard. I think all you have to really know going in is that it's an allegory for being trans. All it is this kid who's like, he's like 14, and his mom's sick and his dad's distant. She has no friends, and it's very kind of David Lynch style of filmmaking, where it's not very obvious. It's very like quiet and like far away and uncanny and kind of creepy feeling. And the whole thing is this kid likes this show that's kind of like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer parody thing called The Pink Opaque. And he watches it all the time in the middle of the night when no one's around, and it's all he wants to do is watch this show. And one day he meets this girl who's like also really into it. It's like she's a little bit older than him, and she's like a lesbian, and they bond over it, but they're like have a contentious relationship. And you find out the whole crux of the movie, because I can't really sell it if I don't give this away, is that the two main characters of the show, it's revealed the friend, the older girl, is like, this world is not real. You and I are the characters in this show, and we are trapped in this world. And the world itself is presented as our mundane, normal world. And you must escape back into our world so that we can fight the bad guys or whatever they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And so,
like the TV world?
Exactly. I saw the TV Glow this world is the wrong world, and everyone around you is lying to you and poisoning you and giving you bad information. I am your only friend and real, and you know this to be true deep down. And what you have to do is I don't want to give everything away.
The show that they're watching in the movie is like a Charmed type of show where it's
CW
like a cult classic show.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that's what it is.
Gotcha. And it's like, yeah, like a fandom, like getting like really obsessed with the thing and thinking, but the director is a trans woman and said it's, this is how they wanted to express how it feels to be trans, I guess. Like, this is how your world feels to me all the time. Like, it's this bad all the time kind of thing. And if you, I think, go into it with that mindset, knowing that that's what they're trying to communicate, really, really effective. And like, the last 10 minutes makes me like cry, and like I can't stop thinking about kind of this kind of movie. So like I said, 2024, really strong year for movies. If it weren't for things like Civil War and Furiosa and some other really big blockbustery movies that I love, this would be something I would be talking about constantly if we would have done an hour show on it. But it's better for this format where I can just gush about it. Nicole can say her 30 seconds on it. I mean, did you have any opinions on I Saw the TV Glow? I know you didn't like it as much as I did, but
I didn't know the backstory of why it was made, so it kind of sucked.
as an observer, so as an observer who doesn't know that it's a trans allegory, how does the movie come off to you?
Too avant-garde for me.
Like it's just a bunch of crap, right? Like It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so that's why I tell people this is what this is going in, because otherwise you will be like Nicole and be like, why is this boring crap happening? And then, okay, every once in a while something nonsensical happens, and then it goes back to like, what am I doing kind of thing, I imagine, is the feeling. But yeah. I saw the TV Glow. I was a big fan of it. And do you guys have any interest in it now? Jess, okay, anything?
I think if you wouldn't have mentioned that it's very David Lynchy, then maybe, but David Lynch is just too goddamn slow and boring for me.
Yeah, that's how this feels.
I was going to say pass.
I did my effort to sell it, and that's all it takes. I mean, I don't know if you guys would care for it either, but that's the only actually new... Well, good.
Yeah, the plot thought behind it sounds really interesting, and that would be something that I would be really interested in watching, but I mean, I may have to just like not listen to the fact that it's David Lynchy. Yeah, I mean,
that's just how like. It's the only thing I could compare to it, because there's so many parts in it that are like they're surrealist. Like it's very like because there's nothing else. Movies don't use surrealism properly, in my opinion. Like they don't appropriately show things uncanny and like it does that very good, like, there's something wrong with the suburbs vibe. And, like, I don't think movies do that very effectively. This one, I think, speaks to, like, a younger to a 90s, 2000s era of person, where David Lynch is speaking to the 50s and 60s and 70s era kids, and, like, that kind of suburbia. This is speaking to, like, a 90s, 2000s, you came home and watched sitcoms after school kind of thing. Kind of group of people. So anyway, I saw the TV Glow. I have the other movies I have are older films. So does anyone else have anything contemporary? TV show it can even be. Jess, I know you had some other movies. Did you want to talk about something like Bad Boys, maybe?
Bad Boys is even worth
what you gonna do?
about.
Not worth talking about, you're saying?
No. I mean, the reviews got decent. I don't think either Kyle and I watched the other Bad Boys, but I think it got like 97 on audience. It's nothing pretty high on Rotten Tomatoes, so we're like, all right, we'll give
I think it was
shot.
mid-60s with the critics and higher on the audience. Yeah, the original Bad Boys are like schlocky movies, and then they kind of got a little better, I heard. Kind of like the Fast and Furious movies, maybe?
I was surprised Will Smith was allowed to get a job, but...
you thought he'd be blacklisted? I
thought he ruined his career.
What is the rule for like what you can and can't do, like when you can come back and when you can't? Is that I guess, because I guess it's fine, right?
I have no idea. I mean, he didn't get canceled clearly, so.
As I say, I don't know what the standard for canceling is. I don't know if it doesn't seem like it's like a one thing. It could be. It's just like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Anyway, stupid movie, stupid
Bad
humor.
Boys.
I fell asleep probably the last third of it, so I can't even tell you how it ended. I would hard pass.
Not a recommendation.
They got away with it. They became the heroes. That's what happened at the end. I didn't see it, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So.
I did also just wanted to get your Civil War opinion, because you weren't on that show. Oh no, you weren't on Civil War or Challengers, actually. So those were two movies that we did reviews on.
Yeah,
but you
I wasn't on. I saw those, I think, like weeks after they came out. So you guys already reviewed them by then. I really like Civil War.
Oh, nice.
It was hard to watch at some points, and I think it was a little slow getting into. But once you're in it, it was really good. Challengers, I also liked too. It was.
Yeah, you're hitting good ones.
Yeah, I like Challengers.
I think Jess has been crushing the movie theater. She's been barreling through those horrible horror movies for us, and catching up on the quality cinema that's out there. I think we all
my Regal's money worth, and then I got that popcorn bucket. So now my popcorn refills are only $5.
Oh, you got
I love the popcorn bucket. Yeah.
I just call it the drink bucket. It's just a large drink. Did you see back to horror movies? Did you see Abigail? I remember you were talking about seeing that.
No,
recently.
I missed that one. I need to see that streaming now.
I meant to see that one too, because that one's the guy who did Ready or Not. It's two guys. They did Ready or Not, and they did the new Scream movies, and that's kind of more my speed of horror, where it's like a horror comedy. I like the mix. So yeah, I'd check Abigail out.
Is that streaming yet?
I don't think so. I think I would have tried that one if it was, but no.
I don't think I've seen it on any of the platforms.
And that's kind of why it's been tougher recently, because like streaming has tightened up. Like, it's not the Wild West of the freedom of the it's not the freedom. It's not everything's free anymore. Like Netflix is more expensive, and everything has ads now, and like Hulu and Prime and Max, they got stuff, but it's not as robust as it used to be.
Especially now when you're traveling, trying to find a streaming service that you can download movies to watch on the plane.
Yeah.
Like, I think the only ones I can download are Prime and Apple TV. I think anything else I can't download.
Just doesn't do well. Yeah, and like the stream.
No, it's just like my subscription is the cheaper one, so I can't.
Oh, it just doesn't allow you to. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. We're getting, they're gonna have to work these kinks out, because it's gonna get untenable at a certain point. But not for now, it's I guess enough. But Baba K, did you have any? You said you had some TV.
Yeah. So I mean, May. It's always the end of all the great reality series stuff. So end of Survivor, end of Amazing Race, end of Below Deck. All good. Below Deck, not great. Amazing Race was great this year, I have to tell you, because these two guys that won it, they're a couple, and They won almost every leg of the race. If you don't know Amazing Race, it's couples or two people together, and they're racing against a bunch of other people like them.
One of the OG reality shows,
guys,
right up there with Survivor in terms of...
Yes, I think it's on like year 26 or something like that. It's crazy. 25, 26. Anyway, these guys won almost every leg of the race that they won. I think they lost maybe 3 out of, I want to say there's like 12 legs. And it's almost impossible to do that. Like it was really just crazy to watch. And neither one of them, it's not like they're like this major fit team that was, army guys or whatever. They beat those guys. These were just like they were a couple. They wanted to win so that they can get married and have a surrogate and have a baby. And they were both just kind of like chunky little dudes. And it was great to watch.
That's nice.
And then Survivor, it was great. The winner, the person who won, I was happy who won. Doesn't matter. They need to replace Jeff. But the show that I've been watching that has me on a tightrope is Mayor of Kingston.
Yeah, Mayor of Kingston. That's a prison show?
It's a town. Yes, it's a prison show. It's on Paramount. And it stars Jeremy Renner. And it's this town in Michigan that is just... All I keep screaming at the television is, just fucking leave. Just get in your car and drive out of this town, because this town sucks.
But he's the mayor.
The town is... Everyone who works there, everyone who lives there either is in the prison or works at the prison or is in a gang outside of the prison waiting to get in the prison or just got out of the prison. And this guy, the mayor of Kingstown, he's not really the mayor. He's just a guy who tries to keep the peace amongst all of the different factions. And it's bloody and violent. I would consider it horror because it's horror.
Oh, this is the one you consider horror, Mayor of Kingstown.
Yes.
I would just consider this violent.
It's totally violent. I can't believe that I'm still watching it. The first season, I think, is like way more violent. We just finished the second season. And I think they're in the middle of dropping the third. So it's just horribly violent. No place I would ever be. Every episode I'm screaming at it. So yeah, there's that. But it has me in a chokehold. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about, you don't have any docs, Brennan?
Documentaries.
No documentaries?
Honestly, I do not actually. I do not have documentaries. Oh, the only ones we've seen were the ones we talked about in the show, the Netflix one, the Movie Pass one. Did you ever see that one, Jess, the Movie Pass documentary? Because you were a Movie Pass person.
No, I said I would never got around to it.
Good, but not great. I mean, you can put it on in the background.
Yeah, if you get a chance, why not?
It's okay. It's not amazing, but it's okay. Yeah. Anyway, what was the documentary you were talking about, Mama Kay?
So the documentary that I watched, both the documentaries are about bands, and the first one is a Duran documentary, and I think it's called There's Something You Should Know, and it's basically a documentary about Duran. I don't think I learned anything, and that's okay. They were just my favorite band in the 80s.
So if you were already a fan, you don't learn anything new. Would you learn anything new if you were me?
Yeah. You would definitely learn new things, because, I mean, you probably don't know anything about
The only
them,
thing I know about Duran is Hungry Like a Wolf, and I think that's it.
I know her name is
That's
Rio,
right.
and she dances on the sand. I know It's an Ordinary World. I know they got...
Oh, there you go.
2 names. The first name twice. Whatever.
Right.
They're okay.
Do you know what Duran's from?
What the name's from? No.
It's a character in the movie Barbarella from the 1960s.
Oh, I didn't
Jane
know that.
Fonda.
I've never seen Barbarella.
Yeah. You should know that.
I know it now.
Now you know that.
I know it now.
And so now I'm looking forward to one that I haven't watched yet, and everyone is going to completely laugh me out of the building because it's about Nickleback.
Oh, you're through with standing in lines to clubs you'll never get in.
That's right.
They have a documentary?
Yeah, on Netflix, so you guys won't see it. But, yeah.
Maybe one day.
I don't care.
Not yet.
Yeah. I mean, everyone hates Nickleback, and I just don't see it, and I don't see it.
Honestly,
I hated
I'm gonna now see this.
It's just
It's not cool to like them.
No, this is one of your...
That's the thing. It's not cool to like them at all.
They're coming back around. I think some people are like, I admit that I like Nickelback. I still don't really, but I still think of them as I thought of them. Like, some of the things are kind of fun in a jokey way, but like, I don't genuinely enjoy Nickelback, I suppose.
I feel like it's just a song that you hear on the radio. That
I like the memes. I like look at this graph. That's a version of enjoying Nickelback.
Yeah.
I don't,
that's not a terrible way, but there was, I don't think they played like on CYY here because everybody was like, that's not rock and roll.
That is a little, I think it's just too pretty boy, he can't be pretty boyish, I guess.
I don't know what the problem is, but anyway, that's my next watch. So
I caught up on older things, and older, I mean like not even the 2020, well, a couple more. I saw finally the last James Bond I hadn't seen. It wasn't, it was Spectre. I had never seen Spectre, which is like such a dumb one to not see. The second to last one, isn't it? Like, I saw basically everything leading up to No Time, what was the last one? No Time to Die, the one...
No Time to Die.
The final Daniel Craig one. So, like, I watched all of them, and it was a mixed bag. Like, they're all so different. Some of them are actually really interesting. They're not all. A lot of them are actually kind of interesting, and, like, have things that are interesting about them, even if they're not actually technically all good movies. And Spectre was the last one I'd never seen it in, and it has, what's his name? Christoph Waltz, people know from Inglourious Bastards and Django Unchained. He's the dignified Austrian man in movies. And he's scary or whatever. That's him. And it's really boring. Spectre's boring as fuck. It's not that good. It's actually maybe the worst Daniel Craig one. I think I like Quantum of Solace better, actually. It's 2.5 hours of just crap. Like, I just don't care. Like, and maybe it's because it's sandwiched between Skyfall and No Time to Die, which are both, in my opinion,
good.
Top 10. They're at least top 5. Or Skyfall's top 5, and I think No Time to Die is probably still top 10. So, like, you get this, and you're just like, oh, it just drags.
I feel like this was a big setup. This one was just a setup for No Time to Die.
It must have been that.
Honestly.
Like, I know I'm speaking foreign language to Jess and Nicole, but, like, I cannot stress enough, like, Spectre is not like... I think Spectre is what I think most people think of. If they thought of James Bond in a vacuum, what would a James Bond movie be? It would be that, where it's, like, a mustache-twirling villain, the woman, and, like, a traumatized past thing. Like, it's very stereotypical Bond, and just kind of boring, and, like, not super interesting. So I was disappointed with Spectre, but I know that doesn't really matter because that came out years ago. The Bonds are done, and I'm done with the Bonds, so I've seen them all now. Good series. I like some of them.
I think there'll be another Bond.
Remember my original theory? Do you guys remember my one that Lashana Lynch would come back as like 000 or something? Because in the last movie she like said something about like I'm not like a 007 or I don't know what the fuck she said, but.
I'm a 000.
I'm a triple. That's what I say. I was just triple. I'm a 000. I'm telling you, it's gonna be something like that. And
it'll be a while though. They haven't announced anything even. So.
And I'll close out mine on another movie and I talked about it a little bit earlier on other shows. I sprinkled it in, but it's by the director who just did the tennis movie, the one we did, Challengers. Luca Guadagnino, whatever. It's tough to pronounce the last name. Luca. And it's a movie called Bones and All. Came out a couple years ago. It's streaming on Prime now, so this one is actionable. You can go and stream it now if you have Prime. I know you do. That's not like Netflix where it's streaming. Prime you need for shipping, so everyone has that. True. Prime, Amazon Prime is where you go and see Bones and All. It's a movie about cannibals. It's a movie about it's this woman. She's like 19 or 20, young girl. And her dad leaves her at the beginning of the movie and writes like a letter. You see, like, I can't ignore what you are anymore. Like, I try to help you, but I just can't raise you because she's cannibal. She sneaks away and kills people and eats them and tries to get away with it because she is compulsed to do so. She runs into a couple other cannibals on the road, and one of them is Timothée Chalamet. There's like a relationship. And it's just a really sweet movie. And the ending, that's another ending where it sticks the landing. And the last 30 seconds, I think about, like my skin's crawling just now, like so sad, so sweet, but in a disgusting, horrible way. Bones and All, if you want to have the empathy machine turned on for people you wouldn't ordinarily have empathy for, I recommend Bones and All. And if you like Challengers, it's a good movie. Call Me By Your Name. Anyone see Call Me By Your Name? Same
Yeah,
director?
I remember that.
Same director. So if you were like, oh, those are two pretty good quality movies, and you want to see some cannibals, there you go.
But you have to watch Timothy Chalamet.
I know no one on here likes Timothy Chalamet. Is that right?
Yeah. Not.
I don't even love Timothy Chalamet. I'm mid on Timothy. There's a couple things I like him in. A couple things I'm like whatever. What are you, Nicole? High, low, mid on Timmy?
I don't know. I feel like I've never seen anything with him in it.
You saw
Little Women.
Did you see Wonka?
Yeah, I saw both of those, but I guess my response to that answers how I feel.
He made no impression. 0. He's midithy.
What was yours, Jesse? He's just the wafy white boy, or something like that.
Such a super waif.
Any other Nicole? Do you have any other things? I know you seem pretty content to end on the Extreme Rules.
I did
wrestling.
this time. I don't have anything else to add.
Well, that's okay. We don't always. This is just a show to catch up on the things that we didn't talk about otherwise. So, anyone else have any closing? Did we get to all the ones on your list that were worth talking to, Jess? Did you want to bring up any others that we didn't hit on your list? You had a lot today. You did your homework.
Yeah.
I watched the most recent season of Kardashians, which is I think of what I said last
Oh
time.
wow, they're still going with that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I think Nicole's probably the only one who would know this. Remember the Hills from high school with Lauren Conrad?
Yeah.
I do know who that is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they have like a reunion show called The Hills New Beginnings, which is the same characters minus Lauren Conrad. And it's just like reality show again. I forgot about it. I think I watched the first season close to when it came out, like 2021. I found it on the dark web, and then I forgot about it.
The Hills on the dark web.
And now
no one finds the Hills on the dark web.
The Hills.
Ridiculous.
The Hills have eyes.
It's about them now.
Web.
I think they're in their late 30s. I forgot how old they are now.
Oh, there's no way they're that
They gotta
young.
be in their 40s.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah,
we were
like
almost in our
30s.
late 30s, Jess. Like
late 30s, early 40s, and it's just the same antics. Like the characters hooking up with each other and stuff. So
that's good to hear. They never grew up or changed. That's good.
I wouldn't have watched it if I didn't love the original Hills back in high school.
There, I couldn't. Lauren Conrad, 38. Jess, I owe you an apology. You're right. They're in their late 30s, so that's.
There we go.
Wow. Okay.
I would have thought they were much older by now, but hey, maybe that means we're not as old as we thought we were. So we still got time.
Yeah, I could still be on the Hills.
That was my point in that whole thing. What is everyone excited for coming up? There's a movie called Long Legs with Nicolas Cage that I'm excited for. There's the Bike Riders. Does anyone want to see that with the Bike Riders? Yeah, okay.
That's been on the Regals app for a while.
Yeah, you got those. Like that could be. I think that's out right now as of this recording. So maybe that'll be on.
Yes.
We'll have either an episode or a catch up or something on that. Kinds of Kindness. Yorgos Lanthimos' newest film.
Absolutely not. I'd only see that as a joke.
That's right. You are anti Yorgos. I forgot about that. That's
Did he make that stupid one? That one with Emma Stone?
Yes. I love how you lead with it's that stupid one. And
I
knew exactly I knew you already knew what it was and you were right. I'm just like, come on guys. It's not you guys don't speak Yorgos? You don't like his flavor?
No.
Well. Maybe Kinds of Kindness will be on the catch up then instead of a full thing on that. You guys
Good to see. I just saw the thing for that, so maybe.
Yeah, I say you might want to see it, but like I don't see you even. I see you powering through it, and I'm maybe not enjoying it, but whatever. Anyway, there's other things coming up. If you have things to recommend to us,
Thelma.
That's right, it's Thelma. I think you said that on the last catch up. You said you were looking for.
God damn it! I've been saying Thelma for the last 6 times we've been on. I think.
Is it out yet?
Ready. Maybe this week.
Is it a theater release or is it going somewhere streaming?
It's a theater release.
All right, I might see it. I might.
Everybody go see it for free at the theater. Come on.
Thelma. All right. Films with the Women in My Life on Facebook. Reach out to me on Instagram. I'm Brennan_podhost. And you can email the show with questions, suggestions, and any other things you want to do. filmswiththewomen@gmail.com. Also on YouTube, search Films with the Women in My Life. All right. Thank you guys for being on for this catch-up episode. And yeah, get out there and watch more content and media and come back and report next time because we'll be here.
Okay.
So.
All right. Yay.
Yay!
Till next time, this is
Bye, everybody.
Brennan signing off, saying thanks for listening and enjoy your movies.
Thanks for listening to Films with the Women in My Life. If you enjoyed being a listener in our life, please rate and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or on your favorite podcast app. Keep up with the latest from the show on Instagram at Brennan_podhost, on Facebook at Films with the Women in My Life, and on Twitter at FilmsWomenPod. Finally, you can email the show with questions and suggestions at filmswiththewomen@gmail.com. Original music for the show was created by Ian Burke and Chris Iwanek. Original artwork created by Nicole D'Alessio. This show is produced by Brennan Snyder. Thank you again for listening and enjoy your movies.